Hello and welcome back, friends. Waiting for the game to kind of catch up because I started recording and the computer's lagging out. But it looks like we're caught up. Let's recap last episode. So, last episode we did the Path of Redemption. Now, this is a quest I love because it encourages players to engage with the environment and explore by taking away the quest marker, and this is kind of a throwback to a Morrowind quest. I forget the exact name of it,
Great supplements keep you.
but it's something along the lines of like a pilgrimage. But very good quest line. If I was going to be critical of it, what is bad about that quest line is it does not have much replay value. And what do I mean by that is if you go back and you play it again, I do play it every time I do Shatter Space, but if you play it again, you know where all the locations are, and it's really easy because you know where all the locations are. So the replay value is not as strong as other quests, but like that first blind playthrough, it's an excellent quest. I really do appreciate it, and I kind of like appreciate that they take away those quest markers and encourage players to actually engage with the environment and explore. It's something that has been lost since the advent of the quest marker. But we're going to go ahead and move on here, and we're going to start our next quest, which begins here in the Va'ruun Depository.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I was hoping you would eventually stumble into my shop. Welcome.
It appears my reputation precedes me. What an unusually friendly greeting. You don't have to pretend to like me just to get me to spend my credits. You were actually hoping to meet me?
Well, yes. I realize others might treat people such as yourself with skepticism and distrust, but my opinions differ. You've clearly been chosen by the Great Serpent, sent here to help us in our time of need. In my mind, to treat you with anything but respect would be ignorant.
It appears my reputation precedes me. What an unusually friendly greeting.
Oh, yes. I imagine it's been difficult for you. It's rare that an off-worlder finds their way to Dazra. But not just any off-worlder. One that's able to speak with a Nazca Va'ruun himself, which in the eyes of the citizens of Dazra moves you up from the suspiciously curious category to the dangerously unique one.
And I'd just like to make note that they refer to you as an off-worlder, which is kind of like a parallel to, in Morrowind, they would call you an outlander. So very similarities. I consider this DLC to basically be a mini Morrowind. A lot of the storyline structures are very similar. But let's proceed. Serpent's Embrace. I'm hardly dangerous. My arrival on this planet is clearly the will of the Great Serpent. I don't blame them for being weary of strangers. Well, you clearly know who I am, but I don't know who you are. If they want to keep me at arm's length, it suits me just fine.
Is this how you usually have a conversation? You know, where you're from?
Be patient, lady. I'm going to respond.
Yes, of course. Forgive me. I had no idea that you'd taken our beliefs to heart. Perhaps we should start this conversation again. I'm Nalada Brady. Forgive me for not starting our conversation that way. I've been a bit distracted of late. My brother Qasim has been missing for days. I'm beginning to worry that something terrible has happened to him.
I'm very sorry to hear that. It's only been a few days. I don't need to hear your life story. I'd just like to buy some goods. Haven't a lot of people gone missing recently?
Well, yes, but the incident that claimed most of Dazra was several weeks ago. Qasim and I were fortunate that our shop wasn't destroyed like so many others around us.
I'm very sorry to hear
Yes,
that.
thank you. But my problems need not burden you. If you want to take a look at what my shop has to offer, well, you let me know.
It must be tough to run a business in the midst of all this chaos. Perhaps I could help you locate Kwasim.
Really? You'd do that for me? Oh, you truly are a gift from the Great Serpent. I knew he hadn't forsaken us.
And you don't need to beat around the bush. You could have just asked up front and said, "My brother is missing. Would you help me find him?" Why do you consider me a divine gift when I'm simply flesh and blood like everyone else?
Isn't it obvious? I believe the Great Serpent has specific designs for all of us. You consider yourself to be nothing more than flesh and blood, but you have a purpose. And purpose is greater than the sum of all our parts.
I'll do my best. Nalada. I think that's it. All I need is to know where to start.
Oh yes, of course. The last time I heard from Kwasim, he was headed out to the Deep Gorge refinery to assess if it could be reopened. He never came back that evening. I've been worried sick.
I'll promise I'll get you some answers. I'll see what I can do. Perhaps he doesn't want to be found. The Deep Gorge refinery?
Of course. How would you know about that place? It's an old mineral processing facility a good distance to the southeast of Dazra. It closed down years ago due to... I'm not even sure why. It ran out of resources, I think. There was very little talk about it around town.
Perhaps he doesn't want to be found.
Impossible. Despite what's happened in Dazra, Kwasim has been in good spirits of late. No, if anything, I'm afraid he's been injured and can't make the journey home. Or worse.
I'll promise I'll get you some answers.
Something within tells me you speak the truth. I feel blessed that the Great Serpent delivered you to my door. Just please be careful. That old refinery has been abandoned for years, and there's no telling what might be choosing to call the facility its home. Now, is there anything you might need for your journey?
We got more questions to ask.
The cataclysm that claimed most of Dazra has severely impaired our ability to survive on Va'ruun Kai. Kwasim is simply trying to use his engineering background to help everywhere that he can. In this case, he's trying to assess if the refinery can be reopened. He strongly believes that the loss of the city's infrastructure means we need to rely on everything we can in order to get back on our feet.
Do you mind telling me more about Kwasim?
Do you mean to ask if it's a sore subject to bring up since he's missing? Not at all. Kwasim and I have been close ever since we were young. Our father and mother taught us everything we needed to know about running this shop so that one day we could take over. When they passed, Kwasim and I ran the business for a few years together, but I could see his heart was elsewhere. I gave him my blessing, and he attended an engineering academy. In a few more years, he graduated and made quite a name for himself. When the government reached out to everyone for help after the incident, I wasn't the least bit surprised he was the first to volunteer. I can only pray that his eagerness hasn't gotten him into deep trouble.
What can you tell me about the Deep Gorge refinery?
Not much more other than what I've already told you. The only silver lining from the refinery shutdown was that all of the workers were placed into other positions throughout the city, so no one went hungry.
It must be tough to run a business in the midst of all this chaos.
My mother taught me to try and provide a smiling, friendly face for my customers, but it's been incredibly difficult. I managed to muddle through when the incident struck the city, but this situation with Kwasim has made things difficult.
I'd like to see your wares.
Absolutely.
I do like her perseverance in trying to keep an upbeat and positive attitude. I try to do that in my life as well as my YouTube career, and try to be positive no matter what's kind of going on. And I think that's because emotions can be contagious. You know, if people are depressed, sad, anxious, it kind of spreads. So even, you know, putting on a fake smile can help keep others positive.
Hi, Dan. What do you need?
And I think it's good practice to try to be positive about things. Okay, let's make this our active quest. Sympathy for the living. Now, this was a quest that they featured in the original trailer, and there's a good reason why. It's a very cinematic quest. Tons of environmental storytelling. I would call it moderate on action. It's not super duper action heavy, but also it's not going to be like The Duel where I don't shoot my gun once. There will be a bit of action here, but it's going to be very investigatory, where we're going to be looking through a point of interest and finding details to figure out what happened to Qasim. And there's a nice ending on it. Let's move a little bit faster here. But this is a very enjoyable quest, very cinematic, a lot of environmental storytelling. Probably some of the best I've seen out of Bethesda, with like environmental storytelling and like you're investigating like the ruins of this old refinery to kind of like figure out what happened to it. But not only that, but also kind of figure out what happened to Qasim and why he has not returned. I do love the soundtrack for Shattered Space. That's also another thing that we can talk about, because soundtracks are kind of really important, and they do kind of like set the emotion and the feeling of you know, what you're experiencing. You know, I'm sure you've seen those videos on like social media where it's like soundtracks do make a difference, and they will play like the 70s like kind of pornographic video music, and it will like change like a complete scene that's like supposed to be completely different, and it'll make it seem like almost lovey-dovey. Uh-oh. There's a nice little combat drop. They jump around so fast.
I am not going down without it. Because of my...
Get wrecked. Okay. Nice little combat scenario there. But let's keep moving. It's like 90 degrees in my house. This is quite a pain in the butt. Like, I'm starting to sweat already. And, you know, I have, like, big old earmuffs so I can, like, hear the audio of myself talking, and it's kind of exacerbating this heat because, you know, it's making my head very hot. Hopefully my glasses do not fog up, because if my glasses fog up, I'm not going to be able to read any data slates. And this is very data slate heavy. What the heck? We got spacers. Bedlam and Starborn Among Us are definitely doing their thing. I think I'm going to probably tweak those settings because I think they're doing their thing a little bit too much. And it's making the outskirts of Dazra rather crazy, to be frank. Let's drop a combat strike. Let's do an Inferno Bomb. And just throw it out there. Where it lands, it lands.
I've got my orders.
My gut says trouble's nearby.
Yep, your gut is correct, Torin. What are you doing in there, bud? Nice little refinery here. Looks like the elevator's toast. Let's pull out something a little bit more stealthy.
Enough. Our orders are good.
Stealth mode engaged.
Master lock. Definitely, I find when I'm working on master locks, I like to fit in 4-piece if possible. If I can do 2, I know I'm correct. It does not appear that any 3 prongs will fit, but we can do a 2 and a 1. All right, we're in. Uh-oh, game's deciding to lag out on me. Update friendly foe settings. Recalibrate. Recalibrated to protect current user. Activate units. Stop lagging out, game.
Is this persistence or foolishness? I've been stuck!
Brace yourself!
You're gone. Don't walk in front of me, Derek.
This battle has been lost!
You're making me very close.
You will fall!
Quit running away. Fine, I'm leaving you. You can keep running deeper into there. I'm not going to chase you in there. That was quite a cinematic explosion.
Could be close by.
I don't see any. There's the one that ran down deep into the dungeon. I'm not following him. He's a jagoff. Let's read the computer. Communications. Maintenance invoice. Deep Gorge Refinery. Blah, blah, blah. Replace valves. Blah, blah, blah. Geological instability concerns, subject geological instability concerns, urgent. I have been getting increased complaints about the geological instability of this site, especially down by the drill site. Employees have noticed small tremors that have been slowly growing in intensity. Maintenance has been stretched very thin. Are we confident in the structural integrity of this refinery? Should the tremors get worse? I must ask, is Redacted or whatever House Kadik is doing down there causing these tremors? Lisam Tarek, Refinery Operations Manager. Geological instability concerns. I request that you kindly use discretion when discussing Redacted. House Kadik assures you that Redacted is a separate entity and is not interfering with the refinery operations. To conduct a thorough audit of the area, we will be setting up seismic monitoring equipment around the refinery. We will be in contact regarding findings. House Kadik Executor. A recent audit of the facility's ongoing safety issues and lack of financial viability have forced our hand. Our seismic monitoring equipment reveal deep gorge geological instabilities that were not properly analyzed during the site's initial construction. Continuing operations pose unacceptable risk to both the workforce and the reputation of House Kadik. Effective immediately, all refinery operations must cease, and the facility is to be securely closed. Redacted will continue normal operations. Please ensure proper entry should approved personnel require it. House Kadik Executor. Remote door control. Okay. So that gives us a little bit of insight. I hope this lag stops, because this is rather annoying.
Quiet again.
Like, sometimes I play on this and it's just fine, and then other times it's like complete trash. And I know it's not Starfield, it's the it's my internet connection. But let's look around. Look around. There's emergency kit. Interesting. What's back here? We got some ammo. More ammo. A gun.
Oh, how amusing. Hi, Dan.
Let's check out the rest of this upstairs. Make sure we find
I am opening fire.
any potential data slates. What the heck is going on here? That's probably that dude who came back up after running away.
10 minutes before we have to go through all that fighting again.
Yeah, you know.
I
All
still
this fighting.
think that you have that "Come Get Me" sign painted on your back.
Maybe I do. Okay, I think I looked through all of here. Let's make sure I got all the upstairs. I don't believe I did. So this place is going to be rumbling the whole entire time, so it's kind of like setting the mood, so to speak. We have some vents. There's a lot of vents in this, what do I call this? A dungeon crawl. Oh, they saw me. We have another computer. Open door. Yeah, I don't want to unlock it if I don't need to. Why was it even locked?
You will need to do better than that.
That was one hell of a fight. We remain victorious. Well, isn't this fun?
Yes, this is fun. So there's the stairs. We're not going down yet. We'll explore this area. For behind you guys.
son of a tease.
And execution.
Well, that could have gone differently. Oh well, never mind.
Let's look around here. Make sure we get any potential knowledge that we can out of this area. So we shot them. I don't see any data slides. Got some ammo. More ammo.
Hi, Dan.
Hello, Derek. I think we got that. So let's continue down deeper into the depths of this refinery. So we got a long hallway over there, and we got some stuff over here. No, I am not picking an ammo bin. I would sooner buy ammunition than waste my time picking an ammo bin. Oh, so we got some bathrooms here. What do we got? Pill bottle? I don't know why I picked up the pill bottle, but I did. Looks like just showers.
Sorry, Dan.
I'm not sure how much longer I can hold this position. It's not good for my back or my bowels.
Looks like the drill is up ahead. Hold on. Let's scope it out. Do we see anyone? Oh, there's a guy.
Well, looky here. Trouble.
I can't shoot straight when you're making all screen shake like that.
Get down!
It's time to feel the might of the righteous.
This guy has something we need. I'm gonna unload a whole entire clip into your head if I need to. Oh, looks like you're still not dead. It's fine. Uh-oh. He hits hard. You're dead now. Okay, let's look around here. We got some dead bodies in the bottom here. Probably don't want to go into that water. Go in a little bit.
Don't worry, Dan. I'm coming.
All right,
Hi, Dan.
restricted access. And we're getting an elevator, so we're going deeper down. All right. Medical wing that seems to be broken off. That door's busted. That's something I'd like to comment on. With modders, a lot of times I see doors that are non-functional, or they say inaccessible.
What is it?
I think it's a much more creative way to break the door instead of putting inaccessible door or a door that just does not have like an open button. It's kind of like a pet peeve of mine, but also look at this environmental storytelling. We have blood splattered everywhere. There's like this smoke kind of like hissing out, or steam. More blood splatters. A lot of environmental storytelling going on with this quest. And it's supposed to give it like this spooky ambiance. Oh, and we found a computer. Current status. Site status. Site is in full lockdown. Auxiliary power deactivated. Main power status deactivated. Operations notes. Main power status references the facility's primary power generation system. 3 power cells must be seated in place at all times as per standard operation procedures. Auxiliary power references the facility's prime power generation system. 1 power cell must be seated in place at all times as per standard operating procedure. Full lockdown mode can only be issued by direct orders from the keep, or in the event of a loss of communication, the ranking officer at the facility. Communication logs. I am growing increasingly concerned about the Soldier Improvement and Enhancement Project. Going to switch to the code SIP or SIPE in future communications as results. As experimentation continues, we are still unable to solve the psychotic breaks that the neuroamp technology and our proprietary programming are causing. Dr. Vashal is attempting to neutralize the issue by utilizing genetically engineered biological agents, but so far they've proved unsuccessful. We will continue our efforts and report our progress. All must serve. 2 more volunteers joined the Great Serpent and their remains placed in cold storage. It disturbs me that we can't even get them the proper memorial that they deserve, all because of the sensitive nature of the project. The only positive news is that our efforts to control their behavior seems to be gaining ground. There seem calmer and less psychotic, but nowhere near the lucidity that soldiers would need to fight. After conferring with my staff, we are confident that SIP will be online in less than 3 months. All must serve. RST 9090A44. Something happened today. Words can't even describe the horrors that I've witnessed. Dazra is mostly gone. We are proud. Where our proud city once stood, there now sits a huge crater. Yet somehow the scaled citadel was spared. From what I hear, thousands are missing and presumed dead. I don't understand what happened. We're very isolated out here under the refinery, only receiving communication from the keep on a weekly basis. If you are receiving this message, I urge you to contact us immediately. Otherwise, we will remain here as ordered and continue SIP. All must serve. It's been 2 weeks since the incident in Dazra, and we have yet to receive any communication from anyone at the keep. As stated in SIP protocols, if we do not hear from anyone after 1 month, we will destroy research site Theta and purge our records. Additionally, our scouts have spotted the heathen zealots in the area, and we are now in full lockdown. I hope to hear from someone in command before it's too late. All must serve. This might be my last communication. The heathens are attacking us in great numbers. Send help immediately. We'll hold them off as long as we can. All must serve. So it looks like we're doing some kind of weird. I'm waiting for the freaking game system to pick up here. Some kind of weird experiment.
How much longer do I have to remain crouching? It's not good for my back.
That was a weird kind of raw, but it looks like they were doing some kind of weird experiment with people and trying to make them into like super soldiers. We'll have to continue our search. More environmental storytelling. What looks to be gunshot marks in the walls.
Scanning.
And we have a computer down here. New prisoners. Let's see. By order of the Maker, the following prisoners will be transferred to cell block until such time he deems them ready for redemption. Kira Delver, Cell 1, Kasim Brandy, Cell 2, Ladir Nadir, Cell 3. These non-believers will come to realize the foolishness of their ways, and the Maker will open their eyes. Praise be to the Great Serpent. This sounds like it is not coming from the Va'ruun people, but the Va'ruun zealots. So I assume this is after the Va'ruun zealots have taken this place.
Moving as quietly as I can.
Yeah, definitely continue moving as quietly as you can.
I can't help it if my bones creak.
Yeah, that's kind of sucks when your bones start creaking. Ooh, computer. Oh. Doesn't do anything except open and close that door. Not sure if we were supposed to go this way. Maybe we were supposed to go this way, over here. Cool little ladder fall. Okay. Follow the blood trail.
Hostile tactics identified. I am opening
Guess the
fire.
shadows swallowed them up.
We saw, we conquered.
Must serve.
Yes,
Then we
Ben.
sat down for a bit and had a nap.
That's probably what I would do. Okay, we're following a blood trail. Where does the blood trail lead? And this is what I mean about the environmental storytelling. It's kind of engaging in the quest itself. We're following a blood trail through this, you know, basically medical facility that was doing military research on creating super soldiers. We have no clue what is waiting for us. It's very interesting environmental storytelling, all while, you know, those tremors continue. And we get those weird roars.
Looks like
This
trouble
unit
has come to
can
town.
no longer serve House Va'ruun.
Time to do a little spring cleaning.
Slave owners, they deserve
System damage.
one-way ticket to oblivion.
Save
We got one more.
Eyes
Over here.
open.
hostiles engaged. Unleashing the circuit error
Glad that's it.
processors.
Let's continue following the blood trail. Huh. Restore power to the site. Probably need that. There's a very detailed point of interest here. I would say more detailed than most points of interest. The clutter team at Bethesda did a wonderful job with this one. Yeah, I'm not sure if you know that, but they have a whole entire team of people that are devoted just to cluttering points of interest. So like they have a level design team that will make the point of interest, and then they have like a clutter team that'll like come in behind them and kind of clutter it all up and make it,
Need
you know,
something?
fit the whatever story they're trying to tell for the specific point of interest. What's down here? A gas leak and a battery. Power cell. Whatever you want to call it.
Hi, Dan. What do you need?
You all to get out of my way as I try to get up here. Body bags. We have a third power cell, and we also have a computer. Full lockdown, we already read that. We already read that. Communication logs. Yep, we already read these communication logs. They definitely wanted to find you to find them. They put them on like two separate computers here. And that's usually a sign that they definitely want you to read that. Those are very crucial storyline elements. Now, we are supposed to do something with these. I think I was already there. Was I here? Ah, here we go. We have 3 power cells.
6.
Inaccessible. Uh-oh, jumped up. Pursue the creature. I can do that. Let's throw down a quick save, because he's rather bullet spongy. Maybe switch to a better gun. I think he was feeding on these people. He jumped up here. We have a vent there. Ah, there's a computer here. Let's see if we have patient profiles. He wills it to be so. We walk the path. We are the true followers. The great serpent wills it to be so. Smash the heretics. Burn their city. Make them believe. The great serpent wills it to be so. We will use the redeemed to overcome and destroy all in our path. The great serpent wills it to be so. Error. Database corrupted. Error. Database corrupted. Error. Database corrupted. I hate when that happens. You can get a corrupted database. I am the maker. I am the maker. The great serpent has willed me to do his bidding. I have seen a vision in my dreams. The heretics of Dazra will become our greatest weapon. They will become the redeemed. Our tool, our weapon, our victory. I will use the heretics' neuroamp and their wicked science to make it our own. He has shown me the way. I will make them, mold them, make them become the redeemed, make them invincible. The end of Dazra is near. We will tear it all down. We will not stop until the last of the heretics are destroyed. If this message has been reached in error, please see System Administrator. Database purged. Database purged. Database purged. Some interesting notes from ooh, little scary element there. See, runs past. More water. Jesus. Hi, Ben.
Something on your mind?
Get wrecked. Oh my god, that was Quasine. No. I killed Quasine. He scared me. He jumped up.
To the storm.
He shouldn't have jumped up like that.
Unless, of course, it's the quiet before the next one.
Message to Nalada. Okay. Let's read the message to Nalada. Here it is.
Dearest Nalada, I'm using one of these devices to record this message. I pray it somehow finds its way into your hands. I've spent countless hours trying to find a way to escape this unbearable nightmare. But it appears that my fate has been sealed. The zealot that calls himself the Maker has decreed we have been chosen for redemption. That we would become one of his hideous creations. The thought of becoming one of the redeemed, those horrendous, twisted vestiges of humanity, it's too disturbing to contemplate. I've heard the screams of the others, their dying breaths, begging, no, praying for mercy. I can't even fathom the pain they must have endured. All of the cells that my own are empty. The silence cuts as deep as a pain blade. I can only assume I'm the Maker's next victim. Soon, my mind will no longer be my own, and I will forget you, and Mother and Father. Forget everything. Even myself. I should have never left you alone, Nalata. In the midst of the calamity that struck Dazra, I should have been there for you. But now, who's that? I think... Yeah, I hear them coming. There's so much I want to say, but time isn't on my side. Listen to me, dear sister. In your hour of greatest need, trust in the Great Serpent. Despite all that's happened, trust that he will provide for you and protect you. I love you, Nalata. Farewell.
Awesome voice acting there. Let's look around a little bit and see if maybe we can find any kind of like computers in this room or this area before we exit. Nothing. No computers. No data slates. Let's move on. Here's our end chest. Trauma pack. Note, if you do not have a cutter on you, a lot of weapons can actually break these. Cool little cave here. And we got an elevator. Let's go up. Bye! And what appears to be a vent to the outskirts.
Hi, Dan.
And here's a cool little thing. They hid the exit very well, mind you. We walked right past it, and it was right there. Landing party for us. Where's the door? Here it is. You're all gonna get wrecked right here. Come on out. Can I take this before the slow-mo stops? Oh, it's inaccessible. I hate it when they do that. Yeah, go take off. We just killed everyone. Bye-bye, friends. Nice little kind of a landing party on your way out. It's a little bit more challenging if you don't know it's coming, but I kind of knew it was coming. Alright, so let's head back and go turn in our quest, and then we can call this, wrap this quest up, which is a very good piece of environmental storytelling, a little bit of like investigation, and you kind of figure out the story of Qasim and also the Redeemed and how they came to be, which we saw in the last episode. Where was that? That was at some of those shrines along the path of redemption. We saw a couple redeemed. So that's a new enemy that was added for Shattered Space. They're primarily a melee enemy, very tanky. They'll run up and whack you in the face. I haven't gotten hit by one of them yet, but they will definitely take my health pool down to like half on one swing. So they're pretty like. They're tanky, but also they hit very hard, but you can range them, so as long as you stay away from them, they don't hurt you. Okay, we're just going to jump the counter because you're staring at the wall.
Come in, come in.
I have some bad news for you about Qasim.
By the Great Serpent. No. Please don't tell me.
We could lie. I'm afraid there was no sign of Qasim at the refinery, but that's going to continue our search for Qasim. This might be a hard truth to tell her, but it would be the appropriate thing to do is to tell her. False hope is not a good thing.
Oh, no. No. My poor Qasim, no. That stupid fool and his crusading ways. I knew it would get him into trouble, but I never thought it would get this far. How am I ever going to continue without him? He was all I had left.
You're strong, Nadalia. Nalada. I think it's Nalada. You'll do what you can to push through the darkness. I don't know what to say. I'm terrible at giving this sort of advice. In real life, I'm very terrible at giving this sort of advice. I'm pretty blunt. But let's go with the good response and kind of pump her up for this.
Yes. Yes, you're right. If nothing else, I have to move forward for Qasim, my parents, and myself. Listen, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done. You risked your life to bring me closure. It's something I'll never forget. I can't offer you much, but I can assure you that my wares will cost you less than before. I hope that's enough. Thank you, traveler. May the Great Serpent guide you on your path.
You're welcome. It was not a problem to kill your brother,
Hi, Dan.
who was living in hell. Very, very good environmental storytelling with that quest. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. That was a story that they kind of premiered in, what was it? The trailer for Shattered Space. And I know why. It had a lot of cinematic moments where we could see the redeemed version of Qasim kind of like running through the different hallways and stuff, etc. But very cinematic, very environmental storytelling oriented, and kind of lays the backdrop for those new enemy NPCs that they added for Shattered Space. At least one of the new enemy NPCs. The Vortex Phantoms, those were already explained, so we're explaining kind of like the Redeemed and what is going on with them. But absolutely lovely environmental storytelling, and like always, please enjoy your night. I'm probably going to upload this later on today, and I do enjoy everyone watching, and like always, enjoy your night and have a good one.